in the whole on the whole thing. Everybody on the thing jubilate. The goalkeeper, you will see the goalkeeper jumping that floor, and he's not the one who scored the goal. But he have been protecting the goal from entering. The defender have been doing a role so the ball can go to the goalkeeper. Somebody play and give it to the one man who put it in the net. Everybody jubilate. This is the process of the carbon-related thing in the country. One institution not do it. And I'm happy that we're giving it the same picture. Or however, we leave it with you for you to decide. How it looking. This is the rule. Because they got the MRV to report, they got to do the biannual transparency report. The whole issue, one main thing in the whole Paris Agreement, the main crux that transparency, the way you do it. And one way that promote transparency is our being here to bring all of you here together. Those that we didn't bring here when they thought we were big then. In fact, we just had an agreement that we'll have special session right after here for people who are not here who complain. Excuse me, please move. And the registry said there. So the carbon registry, like I mentioned, all the examples are showing the sub-region and even also they say there because that reporting requirement being the designated national authority on that, and this thing has to do with climate change related issue, that the reason is there. The day the government decided to say they're changing their law to take it and they call it a different name, it will still be related to that. You call it a different name, not EPA, but they get a responsibility of the environment. The carbon registry will say that. This is linked to the Paris Agreement. It's in line with our NDC and our country reporting requirements. Not just a track, because you know what they call accounting that to collect the information, order it, summarize it, you analyze it, you report it. We advise that all about it, that what they do, but they do not generate the information. So I mentioned all these things, they try GAG the line, go ahead. The thing I explained that if they try to put a picture here, whether they put a picture right or they put it wrong, I don't know. But what I explained that the picture here so. So you see the National Climate Change Steering Committee sitting down there. They play, you see, marks, MAC with small s. It means certain ministry, agency, or commission. Commission in the case of LERC, the commission. Agency in the case of authority like FDA, land authority, they all form part of this here. So this is the technical group that receive all the application and make sure they are certified before sending it to the one who reports. So I know when we did the frill and FDA did it, that EPA reported, right? Yes, sir. That was it. No, the woman was there. Woman can we? And how you did it? Thank you. You want to say, you know, I force it, but I'm young, but I can still pay for old people. So that how it looking, the thing I try to explain, that it will put there. If the way they design it not correct, it leave with you to correct it. But the thing I explain that, yeah, let's go. The issue here, and from here we'll be looking at, that we're taking, even Sunday morning, we have a farm meeting, is that who own it. When Charlie was talking, they were international transfer mitigation. People can put all kind of things together. Sometimes you can hear my hair. They one is the one, you're not going to your NDC. You now certify your NDC already because you say, from energy, I'll reduce it at this level. So when you reduce it, the excess you get, that you can trade, when you qualify it, that's the time this one can go. 8 more of carbon credit generated by carbon reduction and removal, blah, 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 under Article 6 of the Paris Agreement shall be owned by government. We'll talk ownership is because of all the technicality involved in the carbon ownership. I mean carbon trading. There's something they call, carbon where, Brown and all the people that work behind or who watch carbon show. They got something they call carbon cowboys. Carbon cowboy. That the carbon crop them. They're very smart. They can think plenty time before you think. So they plant it all under the grass. Because you do not understand it, good. We ain't say you ain't get knowledge. You understand Google, they able to come with all kind of things. Before you make all your money, own your land already, because there's a loophole in some of the Paris agreement. They got loopholes. So because of they being careful and wanting to protect the interests of our people and make sure the development we're crying for go to them and go to government to improve our country. Superintendent from Grand Cru, how many hours it took from Grand Cru to Moria now? You will talk. And I will tell you why I asked you.
Now the road is so excellent. I take like 10 hours straight from Bagleville to Ganta. Yeah. There was no road anyway, so on motorbike I would take 3 days.
On motorbike you used to take 3 days. The reason I mentioned is that development. No, I say they not do anything correct. I say so. I say something now start. Something now start. What we are saying is, if you get, I come in honorable soup. When you get money for development, you get money that comes from all over. Like government get the control and make sure that you get your money. You can do a lot of development in your area. I was very happy when I visited Kakata that you used to see the dirt all on the road. Kakata clean until the police station clean. I walk in Vanjama. I park with my old car all around in the bush. You know that the superintendent they're having competition. So that good thing there. When they have money, they are protected, they have money, they can do a lot of their investment in their county. The 19 Charlie Quintan glasses that I used to see in Vanjama, and when they're moving over window, they put in cellular window there. If they have money, their own money that is protected, they will do a lot. So government say we will take care of this so that we can protect it, but the division it will not be because we own it. That's why they say it. But all other things. Then authorization, we explained authorization before. The carbon credit authorization comes from SETA, Land Ministry and Agency. And we clear on that? Good. This one that they attempt, Dominic, just so you pay attention, you can add. They want here that the committee work. Dominic, you want to talk about this more? Or Jasa? Okay, come. The woman consulting. When the benefit sharing comes from say this way, that way. They want to come from private, then how it's supposed to be.
So let's go first.
Look at it.
Go to the first one. Okay. So what you see here, this is something that was done by the technical group. And this technical group consists of civil society, government, and so on. So these are recommendations that was made towards the benefit sharing. But before we came up with this recommendation, the good thing about it, those who drafted this, they are all Liberians. And that's one. Secondly, it has to do with, they point out something from the revenue law. The revenue law had a whole different thing on benefit sharing. But then, how do we arrive at this? We look at the issue of sector commercial logging. Commercial logging, we have 30, 30, 40. Is that what we want to use also in the interest of carbon for communities or private land? We said no. We need to look at commercial, we need to look at this separately from that of commercial logging. It has to be attractive so that communities themselves will be custodian and will even want to do more to protect their area. So when we look at this, we look at, this is for private property. On a private property, we'll have first the sector sector manager, be it FDA, be it managing energy or whatever it is. The sector manager there will have 5% of that fund. Now, we go to the project developer. Who is the project developer within that sector? The project developer would now have 35% because they're also investing money into it, right? So that means they need to get profit back too. Then you go to the local community. Assume that this project is within community forest area or that owns by the community. Therefore, the community will have 50% of that proceeds that comes from there. Then we go to national contribution. The national contribution, the funds that go to national contributions will be 10%. That is for community and private land. Move to the next one, please. Now we have something we say government land. Let's take, for example, the Sapo National Park. We have communities that live around the Sapo National Park. Because it's government land, that doesn't mean that communities should not also get benefit from it. So what was proposed also, we have the sector management, be it again from the various areas, be it FDA or managing energy and so on. They will have 10% because we're talking now about government land, right? Now, the project developer will have 30%. The national contribution towards government will also be 50%. Then local communities that are living within those areas must have benefit as well. Therefore, they'll give them 10%. But remember now, on the first slide, go back to the first slide, let me show you something different there. You see the first slide, it tells you community have what? 50%, right? That is community land. And you're giving government here too 10%. Right? So they have also done the same. Let's go to the next one. After.
Thank you, Pliny. Thank you very much, Dominic. I can be here sometimes. Sorry. Dominic was right when he explained that. But the thing here is, we are saying that if government would supposed by law and the kind of government we get in the country supposed to provide everything for the country and make sure area work well. You get hospital, you get school, there are no longer volunteer teachers, there are no volunteer nurses, everybody there basic, everything correct. They will protect your interest because technically they negotiate this thing and help you and train you. But we're presenting it to you. What you have to say, when they control it, the ownership does not deny the existing law. It is because of the complexity. It is because of the technical nature of carbon market. And in fact, the way we want to do one eat from it quick. Because the very Western people, they developing different ideas. They can think fast plenty. They're developing a lot of ideas. Soon, if we're not careful, we'll be having our forest and our whole carbon sequestration or extraction. They will bring different design. They will bring different design and we will lose. We will lose. We not come long way. The reason I'm talking there, and when I swear to my mommy today, whether you can laugh, is serious. In Australia, they have technology. Those they got forest, they got technology, they're tracking are standing on the wall of Jericho talking again, check it. They're tracking their carbon and they're putting it in the soil. They track it, they put in the soil. Well, when we saw all kind of funny machine there, small picking, then they call Dr. Day. When you see them and tell you say they Dr. Day, you can't believe it. They doing all kind of things, all kind of machine we see, they carry on. I see what they're talking, I even understand it. So if we don't do anything now for us to benefit from what we have, God gave us, they will leave it with us, it will be history. It will be like, the way some of our Google law, they're on the shelf, and we'll be boasting. We got 43 in the Upper Guinea forest. And it will be poor. So that the reason we get an idea, we say government must take care, but enough for them. This slide here says that money from there, that now EPA got nothing to do with it, FDA got nothing to do with it. When it comes to the certificate, when the certificate is certified, Charlie, they will not certify only as they will set our own correct. We had 32 review on one that a year or two ago he used to be the FTR head. One of the first reviewer, where outside the white man from Grand Cru. In one of the experts in the country. They were the original reviewer, GAG reviewer. So they will help us. They will not review our own document. They will set it correct. Then UN will report UNCCC will take people from different areas and they will review and will qualify with it. This is the idea we have. And when the policy man give it to us, we the technicians from different land ministry, we brought the idea. But we not say that all a leeway to see whether you agree with it or not. So then one other area there, anything you do, even the tongue and the teeth in the mug can make flour. Before you want to take it at that cook, the tongue step on the tongue, the teeth. So suppose that problem comes from A, that is what they call dispute resolution. We want to use the existing regulation we have, but we want to make sure that ADR is our alternative. Will not run to court. But if that one not handle you, because of the ADR, ASAP you can go to court. You really there for true, you still want to go to court, you can go to court, that is business. So we'll use all this, and we want to make sure that the free, prior, informed consent document that we have in the country, we use it. I want to tell you again, Liberia can do good things. When we develop the EPA, that was the heading the project. When we develop it, everything, Ghana thing, that everything is good for them. That's why we got from Ghana, and we are the best in the whole wide world. So they came to Liberia they want to do EPA in other area. Then the other God, Nate God went to the meeting. They said, but we got EPA document in Liberia. And the money they were giving them come from UK. So we say, we get them all the EPA document through. They take it, they send it to their white people. You know what they say? They emailed, they wrote me. They said, this is the best EPA document we have seen in the sub-region. Liberia again. Then you can't tell us, I'm begging you. So, please go. So these are the requirements we will use. We just decided, our friend, this time, when you're talking to the superintendent, say you got to take down the English from their mouth, they just all the superintendent, they crew people now. Yeah. They just all of them crew people because all of them, they know plenty of book now. They're very careful. You got to be careful when you're talking to the superintendent. Because the thing I'm talking about, crew people, I learned from the example. They wanted to post something out to welcome the president. They said, we want to say our illustrious son, His Excellency. They were arguing on what would go on the billboard until the president visited the office, the country. So I just let the people force on them all the time. Yeah. So let's go to that. Thank you very much. We decided to bring this to you so that it can inform you before you go to your working. To see why the idea we put it together, why like. And let me tell you, we're not finished here. We'll move from here, we'll go to the other 8 countries to explain the same thing to them. Then we'll move from there, we'll hold small meeting with civil society and the young people. When we move from there, we'll present it back to the steering committee. Some of them here, but all of them not here. And then so we'll carry back to them. When they see it, then we'll do something they call validation. The thing that we'll do, Nigeria never did, Zimbabwe never did. We'll do it. You will say the thing we agree on that a year. So when that one happen, then our policy now, the steering committee can present it to the president before it form part of the law. Because we going to the law now, everybody understand what going into the law. Thank you very much. Yeah, before you can chief, them a technician from land authority say small thing.
Sorry, I am not from Land Authority. I'm from the National Disaster Management Agency of Liberia. Mr. Wapo, your presentation was really clear, but I do have a bundle of issues. But for the sake of time, I would just want to capitalize on one. So we are the National Disaster Management Agency. We are also in compliance with the Paris Agreement and the sustainable goals, the UN's sustainable development goals. But we are more mindful of the sender framework because that framework speaks to mitigating or reducing climate impact through participation with stakeholders. So that is our strength. We're looking at this carbon. We know it's a politically contentious issue, but there is a direct link with the development of carbon policy and risk reduction. These are all elements of climate change adaptation. And as an NDC sector, we want to look at the opportunities that come along with this policy, especially in risk mitigation, risk prevention, and building of resilience within our sectors. Also, looking at the policy, it talks about the authorizing agency. You know, sometimes it's possible for the developer to be a particular sector. And if that sector is the one that should vet and give a clearance certificate, you know, like giving a go-ahead for the project to be implemented, and you are the same sector who have to vet, but you are the one developing the project, then what happens in that instance? I hope the question is clear. I'm asking if the project developer is the same sector that has to vet the process of the project, report on it, then who vets who? Also, I see our work is to mitigate risks. And most of the risks, or all of the risks that we mitigate are within specific sectors. That's why we collaborate with everyone in the room. So risk mitigation in the transport sector, forestry sector, whatever sector, health sector, or whatever, we are all geared towards the same thing. I know climate change adaptation will only be particular on climate risk mitigation. But the unique thing about disaster risk mitigation is more broader. It does not only capitalize on climate risk mitigation, but other risks and other hazards. So it makes it more bigger than just climate change adaptation. But that is our focus because we want to align with the Paris Agreement. And we are not left out of these discussions. It's important we play a central role. Disaster management is here. The risk prevention that we do. Somebody will say, does your sector generate carbon? Well, indirectly, when I say yes, but the little efforts that we do collectively over time, if they are well measured, if they are well reported, they can be quantified into carbon generation. Because we know the carbon itself will be a commodity that can be traded. But at the end of the day, our efforts lead to better use or bigger use within the different sectors. So whatever you are doing, we are part of it. And if we are part of it, we play a contributory role. Now, what is our gain? How do we benefit? I see the policy talked about benefit sharing. It says when the carbon is being generated or is owned by government, 50% of the benefit comes to government. And that 50% will be used for specific programs, social programs, educational programs, and health programs. What happened to resilience building programs? What happened to risk mitigation and prevention programs? You know, if those things are not well handled, if we are not able to mitigate risks properly, this carbon policy will serve as a recipe for conflict. Then it brings us back to calling on disaster management to come and intervene. How are we to intervene in something that you did not even make us a part of from the onset? We play a crucial role in these engagements, and we wanted to be really clear on our role and how we fit into the policy. Thank you.
I was telling you about football team. So Messi score they go, spectator clap, goalkeeper jump. The coach everything on the policy. You are on it. The boss man on the steering committee. You on the technical committee. So when the goal is scored, clap. We ain't got to pull 24% on the football field. Then we not change the goal pool. That the reason. Not that we ain't recognize your role. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Again, presentation all we can put a light on, but I'll give some reaction. I'll just give a few reactions before the breaker section as in my official capacity as head of EPA. One, EPA as a regulator will not sell carbon. EPA will not make money from carbon. Very clear. EPA is a regulatory institute. Mines and Energy will give concession. Before that concession takes place, they have to get environmental permit to make sure that their operation will conform to sustainability principles. In the case of carbon, it is a kind of commodity. Before you extract it and sell it, it has to conform to the environmental law. It has to conform to the international agreement the way it's set up. EPA as a regulator will ensure those happen. And so, let me clear the air from everybody that EPA not going to sell carbon. A case in point, the people of Parawi have had a problem with somebody operating on their land. The president signed an MOU with them before. Then later on, they signed another MOU with the EPA for some kind of benefit sharing conflict is so before I got the EPA. The MOU with the EPA, we cancel that MOU because EPA role is to govern Parawi to conform with Ramsar. How it's supposed to be protected. EPA cannot get profit from Parawi. Official position of the EPA, we're not selling carbon, we're not going to make money from carbon. But any carbon that is sold, it has to come through the EPA to conform to the standard that Liberia and the international community has set up. Let's get that very, very, very clear. Let everybody be aware of that. The way it's structured in that light. Someone is in sector ministries or community that owning the land, the project starting, all the negotiation that is going on is at that level. When it comes to our point, we check the boxes that everything is correct before you go through the system. In our civil society, is the question on ownership is very sensitive, is very emotional. Why? Historically, the way natural resources have been used in Liberia and how our people have never benefited or they have not developed. And so it's very emotional. The land right law, I as an expert was quite involved. The last one that went to the president, I reviewed it and signed it. The one that is in version today, I introduced free, prior, and informed consent in that draft law when we're discussing it. So I come from civil society as a contraband that shared the same idea. When it comes to the carbon part of it, the ownership as a caution to those here and the government and the stakeholders. If you split it and say the way the land right law is, all the ownership should go to communities and everybody. As an expert in the field, it will be abused and will not get hold of it. A case in point. As we speak, there is carbon-based sold from the Mount Comfrey hydro. When those are doing it, they involved with it, they came to the EPA for authorization. We say we can't get authorization because we have not get our policy in place. Twice here, even the Medmi in Senegal. Then when a cleverly use a loophole in the agreement to still register it to bypass the government. If you say ownership is with community, sooner or later, what an NGO, what a private sector, they will bypass and everybody will flow into the community. Before you look, a lot of rights will be given on that the government is aware of. It will be uncontrollable. When you look at the complexity of it, like the ownership, and when we talk about carbon, not only forest, those that are developing renewable energy, marine innovation, all kinds of things that are happening, like all the sources in the transport sector, carbon is generated from there. If you say the ownership should be scattered around, before you look, things will be out of hand. Therefore, as the recommendation has come out, we say let the ownership be centralized in government, even though we know that historically that ownership in other areas has not benefited people. Right? Understand that fight. Let's get to the benefit of it, where carbon is coming from. Ownership is embedded with the benefit. That's why you see the distinction. What are 50% as proposed? You can discuss that in your group. 50% is for community. When a community forest. If that government or public land, the equation changes. More benefit the government, less. That's how it's structured. I just wanted to make at least those 2 points very clear. The last point I wanted to make is time is running now. We want to make sure that the policy is completed to be showcased in November at the COP30. So let us now keep putting all the points. It's difficult to be 100%. Let's get to a point that we all can agree. You get a little bit, you take a little bit, you take a little bit, and then we come to a point. Nobody will get it 100%. So we can get it ready. So next year, we can open the market up and Liberia can start. Because time is running. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We are about to open it up for your comment. And then after that, we'll take a few comments. But there are also information that some of my best friends then told me, say, all your beautiful presentation, all right, but we got to sit down and talk. And what we say? So we will still talk. Because what you want all to do, what